Welcome, everyone, to the Your Little Castle show, highlighting the local leaders in our community, making a difference, even late at night. Jimmie and I talked. I was still down in Florida, went to the spring training for the Cardinals. That was exciting. I looked down and he said, "Hey, we're busy. This storm came through. This was a crazy storm, wasn't it?"
Yeah, crazy storm.
What was some of the damage you saw there when some of this came about?
Well, I think we've had at least 2 or 3 tornadoes that have touched down, all the straight line and strong winds. I mean, we've seen houses just pretty much demolished, disappeared. We've gotten all the damage, all the roofing damage, the siding damage, the hail damage. We've seen plywood off of roofs, holes in the roofs. We've seen ceilings collapse. We've just really seen it all this storm. It's been a tough one, so I'm sure a lot of people were affected.
Jimmie's been in business 27 years, or 27 years in the industry, 23 years with your own company.
Yeah,
so started
correct.
when you were a youngster, obviously.
Yeah, well, we started our 23rd year last month. We started our business in 2002. So yeah, I started in the industry in '97. It didn't take long to know that I could run a business as good as most. So my goal was to do my own business.
That's how you have control, right? All responsibility lies within then, but you go out and get it done. So many years. I mean, I want to jump in here. We're going to talk about the accreditations.
Yeah.
He is highly, highly accredited. Jimmie Dean here, everybody. Jimmie Dean, James Dean. Rock on. We're going to rock on right here. Going to show you these accreditations. He has stuff he's accredited for that. I didn't know there were certifications for these things. This is impressive. But you go to the website, and he's got an awesome website. You did. I was shocked when you said you did this yourself.
Yeah,
Good work.
yeah. Me and our office manager Andrea, she's great. She does almost everything. So, yeah, over the years, I mean, obviously a lot of years, we've put this together. I mean, but you're talking lots of years. So,
well, this web thing is catching on, and so there it is. But I'm going to put up, or take a look here, everybody. You can see on the wall our trusted partnerships and these accreditations that he has here. So let's talk a little about these. The 2008 winner, 2018 winner, 16, 15, Angie, Velux. What is Velux?
Yeah, Velux, that's a skylight. We're certified skylight installers. So most roofs, most homes with skylights on their roofs, we're certified to install those.
Gotcha. All right.
Next one, that's a Roofing Siding Contractors Association. It's our alliance. It's just an association that was created for the greater St. Louis for commitment to be good company in St. Louis.
Yeah, they are a local group. I met the president there a couple of years ago, I think.
Yeah, I'm sure you did.
A lot of roofing guys. GAF did a convention.
Yep. GAF's a big sponsor. A lot of them are. I mean, all the industry the industry leaders are part of this. It's a very big deal in St. Louis.
That is cool because it's a local thing going on here. 30-hour OSHA.
Yeah, you got safety. Safety is a big issue in this industry. Obviously, it's roofing, siding, gutters. So OSHA, you got to learn how to work safe. You got to go home.
You want to make it home at night so you can take care of the kids. National Women in Roofing. That's another cool one.
That's a new thing that they had come out with years ago. And Andrea, she's a member of that, and our company is as well. And they work with the Roofing Contractors Alliance of Greater St. Louis, and we help rebuild the Lou in St. Louis, and we're just committed to help.
And the National Roofers, what's it say? What does that say? That's a pretty cool looking logo they got there. You're a member though.
That's National Roofing Contractors Association.
Okay.
That's a nationwide. I mean, that's in every country, I believe. It's, so it's just a membership that we have, and we've gotten our education through it. We have a lot of training that we've taken on through that, and it's just an industry learning tool that we have.
And as you go on there, on and on and on with certifications.
Yeah. Yeah, you got
tests you've passed,
Yeah,
things that you are an expert with. It's not who you know, it's what you know, you said to me earlier.
Yeah, we talked a little bit about all these big companies that market and advertise and solicit and door knock. It's more with them, like who they know. And with me, I've always made business about what we knew. So that's how we built our business, through accreditations, affiliations, and it's what makes customers happy too. They want to know that you're accredited and certified and affiliated, and you're part of the community and in the industry. And these are just our commitments to staying educated. Obviously, this one here, it's a quality control specialist. The next one, it's a master shingle applicator. We're certified master shingle applicators. Wizard Award, same deal. You got master craftsman, you got quality control specialist, you got your Better Business Bureau, you got some of your awards that you won over the years through Home Advisor and Angie and things like that. Different reviews and best of companies and things like that we've had, and I'm sure there's a few.
It's a lot of work.
There.
You have spent a lot of time earning these certifications, again, getting these awards, these accolades. I mean, I know a lot of people stay in business for many years, but I don't know how many people get these many awards and certifications and honors. What's going on here? So you were identified, you told me, by your boss many years ago, before you started your own company. Jimmie's going to get these things done. It makes the company look good if they can say somebody's got the certifications. Maybe not everybody, but you were the guy that kind of leaned on and said, Jimmie will get these certifications. Get these
I've always wanted to educate myself in the industry. This is a tough industry. Obviously the roofing industry hasn't always had a good reputation. I just wanted to be educated. So I wanted to be able to have credentials and accreditations and certifications to stand behind me that worked, that people could trust us.
Valuable, because we're talking about the house that somebody's going to live in, sometimes 15, 20, 30, the rest of their lives.
Yeah.
Why would they want to have somebody work on their house that didn't know per se what they were doing? I mean, years of experience count for one thing, for something, right? And you've got that also, but the fact that you took these tests, you passed these certifications. A lot of us went to college. Some of us went to grad school. And then we had to go out in the real world and really learn.
Yeah.
So you've got all of that together. Plus, along the way, these continued education pieces. We got to get, sometimes I got my mortgage license, continuing education. And you're getting these accreditations over many years and continued, and for all kinds of different areas of specialty.
Yeah, that's your commitment in the industry, is staying educated and with products and materials and just the industry. So it's nice to be educated and know things.
And it's nice to know things. Well, Jimmie, appreciate that. You're leaning out the camera there a little bit, so make sure we get...
I'm about to lean even further. No, we're good.
But yeah, thank you for that. But yeah, we're just comfortable getting along, hanging out here and talking a little bit about what matters so that we can all get together to put these houses back in order. This storm, how often do we have storms like the one we had last week? Your history, I guess.
With this weather, and I don't know what it's from, climate or whatever, but we didn't used to have these kind of storms, it didn't seem like, but recently we've started having very bad storms. We've had bad storms last year, the year before, but starting this year in March with these kind of tornadoes and straight line winds and hail damage, this is something that you don't always see. Now, the St. Louis area, they see it, and a lot of these homeowners, they don't see it all the time. But as a company, we see it because we have a corridor, whether we're working in St. Charles or St. James or Bourbon, or whether it's Farmington or Arnold or St. Louis, we work the 1 hour corridor. So we're going to work every storm that comes through the area because we're affiliated with programs and insurance companies that put us into the mix of repairing homes.
Well, I can tell with years of dedication, it seems like you've just got that personality, if you will, that just, hey man, we're going to get along. We're going to make this work. not get in anybody's face too much, but you're going to make sure you get it done right.
Yeah.
And that makes it a little easy for everything, because not somebody's always in pressuring you, oh, we better do it this way or else. But also, make sure we get this done.
Yeah, well, it's if you doing business the right way and you got good intentions, you know where you stand. You know what you're going to do. So it helps.
That makes it easier for all of us. Do it right the first time. Take note on that one.
Do it
and
right
then
the
you don't
first
have to get it redone, which causes a lot more
Yeah.
work. Well,
The only
we've talked
thing worse than paying for it once is paying for it twice, right?
That's so well said. That's a different way of saying it, but I hadn't used that one. I liked it. Only thing worse than paying once is paying twice. Experts to make sure this happens. Lots of satisfied customers that you've got out there. So, but before we get to that, tell me, what is it about your business that fuels your passion? Obviously, Grandpa, we talked a little bit, a little pregame prep, and we talked a little bit about your grandfather had a big impact on your life.
Yeah, I at a young age, 10, 11, 12, my mom and dad used to drop me off at my grandparents' house, and we had all our cousins, lots of cousins in the family, and we'd all meet together there. And my grandpa and grandma, they were just hard workers, and my grandpa taught me how to swing a hammer. He taught me the work ethic of so many things. The main thing is what you can achieve, what you can earn, the fact that hard work is profitable. The harder you work, the more you can earn. And I think it's a work ethic that was instilled in me at a young age, just by being able to show the fruits of the labor, whether we're picking sassafras leaves or recycling glass or digging roots or reusing nails and boards, and no matter what it was. I mean, it wasn't the easiest thing, but the more you did it, the better you got, the more you earned, the harder you wanted to work, the more accomplishments you had. And that's the same way in this industry. And I think that's what makes us good at it.
Well said there. I mean, when you get that kind of discussion where you can just tell somebody has spent the time and had a grandfather that came around to really chip in a little bit. My grandpa taught me how to fish a little bit, and would take me around the neighborhood.
My dad did a good job of that. Sorry.
There you go.
Yeah.
But I mean, those are the kinds of relationships we need as kids to help develop so that we do stay on that path. And for somebody to spend the time, it sounds like your grandpa really had an impact to say, here's a potential career path. He might not have been pointing that out so specifically, but it turned into that for you. And you gained an interest, and he took the time to share with you, hey, let me show you a little bit about how you can do this.
Yeah, I never knew that at that age. I thought I was just learning how to swing a hammer, but I learned how to pull nails and reuse them. So it teaches you how to swing the hammer a little better. And then over the years, I always wondered how I got the niche for home improvement and working outside. Obviously, I like to be outdoors, so that's why I chose exterior remodeling as far as roofing, siding, soffit fascia gutters, just exterior construction. But yeah, that's the main thing. You really look back and say the time that he took and what he showed me, just I'm sure he's looking down and understands, and we appreciate him very much.
Well, that's good to see those kinds of relationships, because often, those are those are the places we learn from. Mom and dad are busy, and they were running around. My parents were busy, making money out there, earning a living. Mom and dad both worked, but you got to get somebody else to come and chip in sometimes. So grandparents are great for that. You just happen to have a great grandfather that really helped you.
Yeah, they say it takes a village, and I can tell you that my grandparents, they were sure pretty big impact on my life, just teaching us work ethic. I think that's the biggest thing.
That work ethic, that'll get you there. Hard work pays off over and over again. Satisfied customers, I'll put up here for everybody to take a look, but you can see here, long list here, and we've got a lot to share with regard to reviews, ratings, stars, and let's take a look here. But nice looking website. You did this yourself. I'm really impressed.
Yeah, it took a lot of years, but yeah, it's there.
The Home Improvement Service Company did an incredible job with our roof installation, professional, efficient, and outstanding quality. That became highly recommended. I had a deck built by the Home Improvement Service Company, and they turned my ideas into a stunning reality. Exceptional craftsmanship. Thank you. First one was from John. That one was from Sarah. That's got to make you feel kind of good. You got a bunch of those out there, and then we're going to go over all 5 stars on that list of reviews. Angie's List, Google. A lot of people say good things about you. Why do you think that is? That work ethic coming through again?
Yeah, well, I see things from start to finish. If it's not, I mean, I understood right from wrong a long time ago. I don't make excuses. If it's not right, we make it right. I don't. It's easier to fix it than to argue about it.
That's what we haven't heard, but that is so true. It goes along the lines of customers always right kind of thing. Even when they're not, you still, rather than argue about it, you want to make sure and make them happy, right?
Well, yeah, and I mean, I know what's right and wrong, So I always was one of those that I will make the job right before I move on to the next one. It's my commitment to the industry. I like to fulfill my agreements, people's expectations. It's who we are, what we do. It's what they agreed to. It's what we agreed to.
And we talked about that in our pregame prep. Our first little, we had our computer. We've got this new computer. We load these things up, and it decided to do a cycle on us. But in that discussion, we talked a little about the big advantage. I talk about this all the time on the show, and I love the big companies. That I worked for Anheuser-Busch for 10 years. Done work for some of the mid-sized guys, lots of them. I enjoy working with smaller businesses because I get to work with the owner, everybody. There he is. Jimmie, what's it like? I mean, pressure's on, but that's why you have to perform all the time. You can't afford to have some people with bad reviews. You get 1 or 2, something happened, but you get 5 or 6 of those, that can have an impact on your business. That's why you do the work so well, and you got to earn the reputation you have.
Yeah, you gotta do a good job. Yeah. Have to be committed to service and a quality that you provide.
Yeah, and that's what we talk about. When you're working with smaller businesses, they don't spend $40,000 a month on advertising. They don't spend $17 a day on clicks, or $17 a click per click, probably more accurate. And that those big guys, man, they can just throw a lot of money at it and to cover up for some of the stuff that may not have got done quite right. But if you have an issue, you got to talk to the director or the foreman, who's going to talk to the vice president, who might get to the president, maybe get to the owner, and now you're 6 months later, and they look back and go, that job's been done. What are we talking about here?
Exactly.
Working with Jimmie, you're all of those roles, right? And you make sure it gets done right there on the spot. Is that what a benefit most people gain by working with you as a small business owner?
Oh, yeah. I mean, even just as a small business owner, I see things through. So from the beginning to the end, from agreements and expectations and just knowing what's right and wrong. I mean, I've been an installer for 20-something years, so I'm an owner-operator. So, yeah, we definitely want to do a good job.
Well, that's what we talk about. We want to emphasize that here on the Your Little Castle Show. I throw the hat on. I keep it on the table these days. So you said, when you're doing good things in the community, you're helping your fellow businessman, your local community resident, somebody that you probably live down the street from, somebody that you know personally. You want to make sure and do extra good quality work for them because you do that. Home Advisor up on the wall here. I'll show you a little bit more. Tons of 97% recommended, 22 years here, 4.9, 63 verified reviews. And then over on Google, getting it done there too. And the Google thing these days, all 5 stars, showing everybody how it's done there as well. Wow. That's hard to do, man, to get that many high good reviews. Obviously, we talked about that, kind of going over that. Is it the quality? Is it the dedication? Is it a combination of just, you got to make sure you get it done right in the customer's mind for what they're till they're satisfied? Is that?
Well, I think of what it is. I know what's right and wrong. I mean, I don't dispute. I mean, things happen. If it's not right, make it right. You have a commitment to a customer to do a good quality job. Until you've said that job is done, then you have the opportunity to do it correctly. And my correct and my right is a little different than some people's correct and their right. Some people, they don't look back. I look back. When a job's done, I look back. If there's something that needs to be initiated or acknowledged, then I do it. That's what just separates us from most. We want to I mean, things happen, but we want to be able to fulfill commitments and, expectations. That's the main thing. And just communicating with customers, and they know who we are and we know who they are, and we know what we promised them, and we know what they expected from us, and we know what a good quality job is, even if they don't know. I mean,
Right.
I've had workers that work for me that act like, well, this customer doesn't know. Well, it doesn't matter what that customer knows. That's why that customer hired us, and I know. So being able to initiate right from wrong, good from bad, and I mean, it's okay to do a good quality job and make things right.
Doesn't it seem to make your life a lot easier too? Because
Oh,
you,
very
you
much
know
so.
that there's never any time you have to look back and go, oh, remember that job? We hope that they'll find out about that. Well, remember that thing? Oh, no, just do it right every time. And then you look back and go, yeah, it may have taken a little extra. It may take a few more bucks out of our pocket, a little less, in our pocket, more in their pocket. But that makes for the longevity of a business, why you've been doing this 27 years.
Oh, well, see, so that's one of my things that I've always stood on for a long time. I installed roofs for almost 20 years. I've employed upwards of 600 people in the workforce over the last 18 or 20 years. So what Mother Nature will find is exactly what most people don't understand. So it's not about what you can see from your house or what you can get away with. I assure you that if it isn't done correctly, Mother Nature will find it for them. So it's easier to do it right the first time than to expect that it's not done right. And then we don't make excuses. So we try to do it right the first time so that we don't end up with damages or anything like that. And however, if there is a problem, then we acknowledge it and we fix it. So that's kind of where that goes.
Well said, and that's what we're looking for. More of the same. We have an artifact here, ladies and gentlemen. This came from my roof. I brought it into the studio here today, and this you knew exactly what this was. My neighbor came over and handed this to me, so I thought I'd bring it here for the show. This came from the storm damage we had just here. I'm going to hold it for a second.
Yeah, actually.
Show this up. This is very light aluminum, I guess this is, right?
Yeah.
And but this thing ends up in my front yard somewhere. My neighbor handed it to me, so I brought it in here today. This thing's been beat up a little bit.
Yeah,
I don't think a big
damage.
thing of it. I just say, hey, it's something that came off. I'll get around to it. Jimmie says, you know what you got there? That's your furnace vent?
Furnace vent cap, yep.
Okay. And without this thing, we are getting water going down into my furnace.
Yeah, you actively got water going down into your furnace, probably leaking down in the basement, So
Rusting things out.
Rusting things out for sure. You got some hail damage on this cap.
There's definitely some hail damage.
Yeah, but we
Hold
see
that up
this,
over here so people
we
can see
see
what
this
you're
a lot. In fact, we just purchased 10 of these from Arrowhead out there in Peevely, along with boxes and boxes of other things. But we just purchased 10 of these to do some of these furnace cap replacements because during these storms the caps blow off. So yeah, it happens. We need to get it put back on for you.
And that's what we talked about. You're willing to, and that's why I think there's a marketing strategy. I love marketing. That's kind of what we do with our show here, helping businesses get their name out and do what they do and spread the word and bring on our sponsors and all that. But it's those little jobs that you do that lead to just that reputation you earn and turn into the big jobs. So often you were talking about you're over there fixing a little hole on some roof when there's a big old roof over there. You definitely say, hey, well, let's get to the big job here that we're going to have to replace anyway. Why do you think it's more important to get those little things taken care of first? Make sure the customer's happy.
Well, I built my business off of word of mouth and reputation, and I'm a repair specialist. So how I get customers to have faith and trust in us is by doing small jobs as well. We do the small repairs, they hold up, we fix their problems, fix their leaks, show them our quality and our craftsmanship, and then when they have bigger problems and bigger issues, it's a lot easier for a customer to give you $350 to fix a couple of problems on their roof than it is to agree to give you $40,000 or $50,000 to to do new roof siding, gutters, and all that. So you got to start somewhere, and you got to build trust. So we're out there every day. We're doing small repairs. We're doing full replacements. But it's nice to know where we came from, and it's nice to help customers.
Well, that's again what we try to focus on here, and why we spend so much time talking about these things in depth. We talked about your reviews. Give me a little cost analysis of this storm that just happened. You've got a wide myriad of damage out there, right? Oh, yeah. Everything from fences to gutters to soffit, fascia, roofs, posts. How often is it somebody might come in and be like, oh yeah, I was talking to somebody about air conditioning earlier today, and this is notorious, right? But I need a new air conditioner, of course. And then as I called another friend of mine who's in the industry, Nick Gravette, just giving you a shout out there. Nick comes over and he goes, you need a new capacitor, $75. Are there relative things like that? Or they say, oh yeah, well we need to replace this whole thing. And is that more likely? Some of your companies out there will say, oh, you better do the whole thing, and here's why. You need to get that second opinion. Have you come over?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of your big companies in the St. Louis area, I mean, they don't want to work with repair work, and it's not because there's no money in it. It's because they're not educated enough, and they don't have the craftsmen to do those jobs. They have manpower. That's why they want the whole roof or the whole siding job. But when you built a business from craftsmanship and quality, I mean, this is how we combat big companies and marketing and advertising, is with credentials and accreditations and repair service and building a reputation. That's how you combat big business. You know, big business, it's about not what you know, it's who you know.
Right.
Well, some don't always have to be like that. With us, it's about what we know, you know. So that's kind of how we do business. So it's nice to be able to come back full circle. You know, when you can do that kind of work for a customer, and then 9 years later the storm hits them again and they call you up, they've never had a problem with the work you did, and that all speaks for itself. You know, we retain customers. If you ever meet me, you talk to me, you know that it's not about who's right, who's wrong. It's about quality. It's about expectation. It's about people getting what they paid for. I mean, I just the difference between right and wrong.
Well said there. We get carried on here. We're well over our time limit, but I'd let it go a little bit. I'll do a little editing to make this fit on ABC, but I'll give you the long version here. Put this out on the YouTube. There's no limit with how much we can put on our YouTube. I'm going to give you a copy of this for your website. Will you put this on your website?
Yeah, that's where it's going to go.
Stay tuned for the second half hour. We're going to get into the specifics about the construction, all the work he's done. We got some great looking images of the work that Jimmie has put together. Jimmie Dean, everybody. Stay tuned for more, everybody. Giddy up.